Welcome to Math 9 in the PM. What's your team name? Stay out of it too. Come on, give me a good name. Oh, what? Well, Shindelka and Friends is not a name of our show, but it's not our team name. But okay, welcome. This is Shindelka and Friends. We're still looking for a name. Team name. Order of operations with powers involved. They're the exponents of the dead mass. You guys have used the term dead mass before? Some parentheses, dead mass, same thing. Right? PEMDAS, same thing. Anyways, you can switch the D and the M. But, in case you need a refresh, do the brackets, anything inside brackets first. And within those brackets, you follow it. But then, you look at the exponents. Then, this you do from left to right as one thing. Division and multiplication. Left to right. And then, addition and subtraction from left to right. They're actually do those in groups. Okay, I made this one easy. Brackets. I'm talking about this. No brackets. We just jump into the exponents. You do not add 2 plus 3 because adding and subtracting is the last thing, right? So we got to know a bit about this. I'm going to get you guys, and this is as you work in high school. Now I'm going to stop before we start putting pen to paper. We're going to work down. I'll just show you my notebook. This is the exact same work stuff. I tend to work down, and I'm making this big. And I've given you more than enough space. If you're running out of paper, so we're going to work down instead of left to right more often. Okay? As in, I don't want you to put the answer here. I want you to work down. It works out better in the long run. I do teach, well, you saw some of my great child students here. Someone popped in asking about calculus. If you do go into grade 11 and 12, math, algebra, and calculus, and pre-calculus, you want to learn to work down. So I say equals, and that refers to the line. 2 times 2 times 2. I can do it with a calculator or in my head. What can you do? It's 8. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Then I haven't done the addition, so it's straight below it. I put my 8. I'm being really particular about this. How do we organize it? I'm really asking you guys to do this. And 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. I replaced them, and I'm looking for this stuff. And if you want to use a calculator, you can. But 8 plus 9, if you do it without, that's 17. By the way, I make arithmetic errors, so you guys stop. I got this one right. I do it more when I'm talking to you. If I'm sitting down by myself, but I don't tend to. So look at this one. Next one. I've got brackets, so I've got to do those first. Then I can take care of my exponent. So 2 minus 3 is in the bracket. I'm going to do that. Negative 1, right? Okay. Minus 1. Well, we know 1 to 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. The number part is 0 to 1. Question is it positive or negative? You're right, Charlotte. How do we know? It's an odd number. You're not, especially if that was to the power of 15, you're not really going to think through negative 1 times negative 1 times another negative. You're not going to go 15. You should notice that it switches. Even numbers with negatives. Odd number exponents. So this is just we're working down, my units. Then trying to get stupid now, a little longer. Well, this one's got some multiplication and division. We can use examples here for the next time. Brackets, exponents. I'm going to use a color code system for this because it's got a key. So, like I'm just showing you, follow this. I'm going to do this blue bracket, all of this work, right? First. So, I'll figure this out and then take care of the square. That's all I'm just telling you. So within the bracket, we have an exponent, right? I'm going to do this first. Then I'm going to take care of it with multiplying part. Then I'm going to take care of that. Like you guys follow, there's a lot of steps to this. See how there's inside the brackets, there's exponents, and then there's an exponent to that. Let's get going. I'm going to just, you don't have to use colors, but I'm just explaining why. I'm going to call this 2 times. I have to figure out what this is. Minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3. Negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, multiply. Well, we know the sign, yeah. You know the number. I'm going to put it in brackets because it does not make sense. I don't like showing errors. I will show them after I write this. Here's what I don't want you to do. 2 times minus. I think I know what you mean, but this, without the bracket on this minus 27, it looks like it's subtracting. You know what I'm saying? Then when I do this, and that's what I did in green, that makes better sense of it. It's actually not right to do it any other way. Okay? So, do that, what I did in green. I'm taking care of the green machine. What do we do next? Inside the brackets. Multiplying from left to right. Well, there's only one set to multiply. You can use a calculator, I keep telling you. But if you can do it in your head, that's super terrific. 2 times minus 27 is 54, but it's negative. And since this is at the front, I can put it without a bracket. If it makes you feel better, you'll never get it wrong. You just put a bracket around it. You can do that too. You don't need it in this case. Then I got to take a look at this. And do you see how I kind of line stuff up? Let's say line stuff up. If I'm putting this minus 6 straight through here, this straight here, this stuff right here, like I'm keeping it up, down, kind of so you can follow your working. And yes, it uses more paper, but I notice that students tend to not get things wrong as often. So, now I just got the arithmetic. Minus 54 subtracting 6. It is minus negative 6. That doesn't make sense to you. Hey, wow, this is Antarctica. Super cold. Negative 64 or negative 54. Saskatchewan doesn't get that. Negative 54. And then it cools off another 6 degrees. It's going colder. It's negative 60. However you want to think of it. Anyway. Or use a calculator. I think you should be able to do these things. I mean, that you need a calculator or something. Now, I could do this in my head because I know negative times negative is squared. Positive. And I know that 6 times 6 is 36. I know. And then you just double up the zeros. But if you need a calculator for a square like this, go ahead. And you were right. Like you said, 3,600. I'm old and I say 3,600. Us old people do stuff like deep reaches, 3,600. Sometimes it's quarter past. You'll hear me say this. Okay. The next example I didn't type, I kept it written, but I got a head start so that you know I want you to do things lined up as you work down. So talking about this. I'm not gonna touch that -5 cubed at the end yet. I want to do the inside of the brackets. 18 squared plus 5 to the 0. That's what I'm doing right now. Scoring. Use your calculator. What's 18 squared? Wow. A lot of numbers. You could do it in your head. Go ahead. Verify. 324. And I can do this exponent too without a calculator, but I can put it in. 5 to the 0 is 1. Right? So I kind of started it out to show you how I want you to shoot it. Now, I'm going to rewrite it, but I think that most of you can do this part in your head and then skip to the next step. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. Like I said, you didn't necessarily need to write 225 because I think you could do that. And you square it. Use your calculator. I have no clue. 105,625. I'm sure it is. Anybody verify it? I've got a division sign. Now, I'm outside the. I can do the other exponent at this time. The 5 cubed I can do in my head. It's going to be negative. It's not. 5 times 5 is 25 times another 5 is 120. Correct? And it's negative. Sure it is. It's tight. You're not doing this in your head, are you? No, I just did it. Yeah. So negative 825, you said? I can. Well, 45. Well, I gotta double check. You guys get the idea here? You're gonna need a good calculator. Phones do screw up. Hopefully by this time you've got your calculator. If not, I'd ask it. I can loan you one. Probably better than your phone. Okay? Let me know. Now, here's the assignment, but guess what? Here it is. If you wish to work on this paper because you don't want to waste paper, that's fine. Okay? You might as well use up this page. There's a lot of them. You start out simple. I'm simple, right? A little more complex. More stuff, and then the last few, they're not crazy bad, but I mean, they get increasingly more complex. Where would you use this in real life? The only place I could think of, they're not using this complex. You ever see on like candy wrappers or something, some contest, skill testing prize, or a contest? You have to answer the skill testing question before you get your prize? That's about it. Tim Hortons, if you're going to win the car or something like this, you do have to do a skill testing arithmetic thing. I've never won it, but I've noticed that. That's about the only application. Unless you're a math teacher, I use this stuff every day. Okay. Stop recording. You guys are going to start working. You guys are wonderful.